All right, guys, so in today's podcast, I'm sitting down with Hector from H2O Auto Detail Supplies. They're the ones here on the West Coast that make all the awesome detailing vans. They're actually making new detail carts, all that kind of crazy good build out stuff for your detailing business. Now, I wanted to let you know, we're gonna get pretty deep into this on how they actually started the business, the details along with his father and how everything got started. Really cool story, so definitely stay tuned for that. But I just wanna remind you guys that this podcast is brought to you by THOR Media and the House of Rags. Use code I'm Josh V down at the House of Rags for 10% off your purchase. Also, we have the brand new Quiver brand foam cannon available at the House of Rags. Again, 10% off of that as well. So enjoy the podcast. All right, Hector Jr.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, bud?
Good.
Good. So we're here. We're hosting the Co-Chemie training event here at my shop, and you brought down a new cart.
Yes.
And have you guys been doing these in the past, or is this a brand new thing for you guys?
Shoot, I can't remember exactly when we first made the first one, but actually, yeah, it was like a year ago.
Okay.
Where we made the first cart, and it was mainly like a crazy idea. It was like, man, what if we have these water tanks, we have the pressure washers, and we just put a cart together? And actually, the first customer for the cart is one of my close friends, is Angel from Collective Clean.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the whole thing, he was really fascinated on it. The video went viral on Instagram, and the whole thing was just like, well, we have all these parts, and
might as well use them.
Have some fun, right? We're building
sure.
all these serious builds. Might as well have some fun, but as well as try our best. So at the moment, it went viral. Collective Clean's like, yo, I want one, because he details luxury cars at a one place.
Yeah.
And sometimes he needs to move. He doesn't. He said he didn't want to use his van to wash the cars anymore, so he picked that up. But today, what the version of the cart what we have is completely different. It still has the same stuff, but the way it looks. Literally every time we build a cart, it looks different. Yeah. And it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but the best thing to do is document it. That way, people will be like, "Yo, I like that one that you built."
So replicate that one for me.
Yes.
So if say someone are they all kind of built to order currently?
Yeah, they're built to order.
So what's the lead time if someone orders one?
So the lead time, just because how busy the shop is. Yeah. We could get it done within 2 weeks.
Okay.
But a lot of times it is taking a month to get done.
Yeah.
But of course, if you do respect my time, you wait that month, it's gonna be well worth it. It lets us do our due diligence, making sure that, hey, if you bring this one item and you want it installed, it's gonna be on there properly.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. A little background, I guess, because we did jump straight into the cart. So if anybody doesn't know Hector, H2O Auto Detail Supplies, how many locations do you guys have now?
So right now we have 2 locations, and we do online. We had 3 locations.
Okay.
But the thing was, one of the locations was too close to our main headquarters.
Yeah.
So it wasn't cutting it. But yeah, my name is Hector Jr. My dad's the owner of H2O Auto Detail Supplies. So we've been selling supplies for about 8 years already, but we don't really just sell supplies. We really just make detailing solutions, make kits and packages for auto detailers.
Yeah, I'm sure all you guys have seen some of your content online where the van builds are incredible.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. Lead time, so if someone's getting into that.
Mm-hmm. Like a van build?
Yeah, what's lead time? Because is that something where a lot of the components are sort of pre-made? If someone wanted one of the towers where you hold your gallon size, nothing's pre-made.
Even the van builds aren't pre-made.
Gotcha.
That's the thing that I think that's unique about us we make everything to order. We make everything specifically for you.
Yeah.
A lot of companies where they have something there and they hope it fits.
Sure. And yeah, because every van's a little bit different, and then everyone's process is a little bit different too, right? So maybe they want the pressure washer here versus the other person wants it over here or whatever else. So it makes sense.
Everyone's always got their crazy idea or their specific way of doing things, and by any means, that's why you come to us for customization.
Are you guys doing all that type of stuff, all the fabrication, all that stuff out of one of the locations? Or are you doing it out of both?
Out of one location.
Out of one location.
Out of one area, but 2 locations where there is. So we have like.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
we have like
you have 2 stores.
Yeah.
So one store has 2 locations that they're doing.
So we have like there's actually 3 locations at one place. So the main headquarters has, we still do detailing. So we have our detail center, inventory, and then the other one's a storefront, inventory, for our products and like the reels. And then the other area is fabrication.
Gotcha, for all that
fabrication stuff. And install. And we still don't have room. So
are you guys looking at other spaces? Like, I know rents and stuff. Because where's headquarters? Your main location is where?
It's in Covina.
Covina. Okay, gotcha.
Covina, California.
Yep.
So as far as like moving, I don't think so because we just purchased the actual building.
Oh, you do? Wow,
yeah.
that's huge.
So it's not like the prettiest building or whatever, but thank God we're able to actually purchase our first building, and so we kind of we could sell it, but then there's also it works about the city like buying the building back because they're gonna do new development. So we're gonna see where it goes.
Sure.
But right now our focus is mainly like doing more customization, focusing on our customer service. Me myself like doing more videos on products.
Yeah.
Doing like just getting really in tune to myself.
Yep.
Because I think the last couple of years what I was doing was I was just doing a lot of videos for other detailers.
Yeah.
Like focusing on a lot of other people. I think it's about time where I wanted to showcase the things that I've learned over a couple of years. And of course, at our new Ontario location, we want to offer like seminars, clinics, just a place where you could come by, and you could even rent the space too.
Gotcha. So okay, very cool. Yeah. Very cool. So that's the newest location. How long has that one been open?
So that one's been open for a year already.
Yep.
We're already going on for a full year. Just recently, we used to share the space. It was like a 5,000 square foot warehouse. Mm-hmm. So the front of it, we divided it, and it's a storefront, and then the back was a wrap company.
Okay.
That used to wrap from us, but they parted ways, and then at the end, we're left there with like a big empty space. So we're thinking of doing like more inventory area.
So was that like, were you guys on the documentation for the lease, and then they were just subletting from you?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now you have the whole 5,000 square feet.
Well, the way it was, the wrap company was actually there before us.
Okay.
So they were the ones that were like, hey, would you guys want to partner up with us? And because we would pass on a lot of work with them too. Mm-hmm. We like every van we pretty much built, we would be like, oh, do you guys know a wrap company? Yeah, I know a wrap company, and this is the place that we would recommend.
Yep.
And but just things didn't work out where I think they were just focusing on other items or whatever. So at the end, they just ended up leaving.
And then you guys assumed that lease.
Yeah. Luckily, we were on the same paperwork.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So they made it.
So they would actually charge us, and then we would get a check from them or whatever.
Gotcha.
But I think it's gonna be very beautiful, and like you're seeing yourself, Josh, like what today is doing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people were thinking KCX was like a brand that cost so much money.
Yeah, but
it's literally shows you like its sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's the total opposite because of the dilution ratios and everything else.
Yeah,
it's great. It's really cool, especially with the trainings, because they get very, very, very detailed in the product range, obviously, and then the how-to and talking about again the cost to do a vehicle. It's insane. It's a ton of savings.
It's definitely been cool because I think KCX has been a brand where it's helped me grow personally, just because like without KCX, I don't think I would have ever even met you before.
Yeah,
and like just them hosting events, inviting us to places. Like it's definitely a brand that's involved with their people too.
Yes, I agree. They're very good at building community around everything.
Yeah.
With H2O, you guys carry a ton of co-chemi. What you guys carry pretty much everything, right?
we try to carry a lot of things, and in which I think we carry CarPro, Gion. There's like a couple house brands here and there, but yeah, I mean, I try to carry things that I like to use myself.
Yeah.
Like I remember before I was using a lot of PNS.
Yep.
I have PNS in there.
It makes it easy for you to communicate to the customer and
Yeah.
sell when you're like, I have
Yeah.
direct use of this. I know exactly.
Because it's hard for someone to sell something that they don't use.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's really ingenuine too, right?
Yeah.
Yo, try this. It's good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
It's like how genuine your thing is. Like right now I see all the things you have in the warehouse, and I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, I bought the Krenzel just to do a review.
Yeah, exactly.
We did. He's committed. And
That's
then
right.
and then I even asked like about the Harbor Freight.
Yes.
The Harbor Freight. I'm like, do they pay you for that stuff? And then you're
Fortunately, no. Everyone.
like, no. Unfortunately, but fortunately,
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because then there's no tie. It's frustrating because like sometimes they'll have a new product come out and I'll cover it, and then people in the comments like a day later like, oh, it's sold out. I'm like, dude, I moved a lot of the, like people went because they saw, and I think it's kind of one of those things. Harbor Freight's a good value store where people are going to go there anyway.
Yes.
So they're like, we don't need you to push any, I think that's probably what it is.
Or I don't think they've caught on to you yet. I don't think they've caught on to you.
I met when I was at SEMA, they came by, they saw me walking around and came up like,
yeah,
hey, I like your videos.
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
that's
thanks.
that's like their employees in a sense.
Yes, that's fair. It's not the
Because there's like multiple different people.
Yes, yeah. There were some of the. I guess I don't know what I know their role wasn't marketing. So that makes sense.
It could be like that too. But I mean, I don't know. I remember the first time I met you.
It was like 2 years ago now, probably.
Has it been more?
Dude, time goes so fast. So maybe
I think it's been 3.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's been 3 years. And I remember the first time it was when KCX actually gave me like a role of to be a distributor here, in which you're like, heck yeah, I don't care, I'll buy it from you, like as long as I'm getting KCX.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I remember I brought the order in, and
into my old shop.
Yeah, with a nice view too.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah,
it's great.
I was even like, how is this possible warehouse right here?
I know someone could have bought or built a couple of properties
right
like
there.
Yeah, it's a really nice view for sure.
Yeah. What was like the thing? Why'd you change shop?
Look, I moved houses, and then that became a 45-minute drive for me.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So and it's not like it's that far. It's just it's all
traffic.
Yeah, and it's all backwards, so it's stoplights the entire way.
Yeah, and I didn't know that about San Diego until this morning. To get here, like how much traffic it was like LA.
It's crazy. I know, man. I remember growing up. That's why I always tell everyone like that's the one thing I miss about COVID is like when that first happened. Do you remember the traffic was?
There was nothing. Yeah, it was
beautiful. That was so nice. But the moving shops it just became a necessity. I was spending an hour more in the car than being over here. So I was like,
are you still doing mobile detailing? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah. So I have I've limited myself. Right. So I have some clients that I've had for a very long time. One I do every week. And then other ones are like, once every 2 weeks, once a month. And then.
So like returning clients that you already know?
Yeah. And then every once in a while, a new customer will pop up. And it's cool. I'm able to be selective on it. Like, when I first started, I was doing a bunch of like.
Let me do it all.
Trashed cars. Like just, and I would be like, yes. And they'd even ask for a discount. I'm like, I didn't know my value yet in the whole situation. Right. So they're like. They ask for discounts, like, I want the job, so I'll give you $20 off or whatever, whatever it was.
That's super unique, and I think sometimes viewers forget about it too.
Yeah,
like that, because I come from a car wash background, like from my dad, and we still wash cars here and there.
Yep.
I still don't charge like what that guy's charging out there. the guy out there is like, oh yeah, 150. Engine bay, $500 car wash. I'm like, no way.
Yeah, so that's my good friend Ralph. I'm gonna have him on the podcast at some point too, because he does nothing
have him on the
extremely high end stuff. Great guy, extremely talented on like the wet sanding and full like.
No, I'm sure.
But still,
I'm sure his work's like amazing.
Yeah.
and my work's good too. But
finding the customer that'll pay that, right?
It's just like, dude, I'm not in that area. I'm not in that area. And then that's what I even asked them out there. I'm like, how do I even get to that area? And I'm sure I'm just probably overthinking it, but it's like he's luckily in a position where those are the cars that are around him. I'm sure they're even clean too. But I've also went with the mobile detailer. This was back in 2015, where my dad sent me out to go with the high-end mobile detailer and to learn what he's doing, to learn paint correction, learn ceramic coating, and all that stuff was new at that time. And so I went to work with him for a couple of months, and that's when I was like, okay, he's charging $100 for this Ferrari, and we're literally with the detail brush going on the AC vent like this.
Yep.
Like we're literally brewing dust off this car, and there's literally nothing on there. But then the client would still come out and be like, hey, make sure you guys clean it very well. And the car was already amazing. Yeah.
Those almost make it's almost harder when you come into a car. Like if a car is hammered, the before and after, you're like, they're gonna love this.
They love the little touch that you do to it.
Yeah, exactly. But when a car's already clean, they're like.
But what I was gonna lead into is that my theory is, and let me know if you guys agree with this. So my theory is, okay, the client that is complaining about the price. They're just focused on the price.
Yeah.
And the client that doesn't care about the price and pays more for their car, what does that mean? They care about the quality, right? They care about the service.
The end result. Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
So their lifestyles are different. So the person that cares about the money but doesn't care about the quality, he's not going to care about his car either.
Right.
So I've noticed that cars that I do for cheaper,
they're hammered.
Are hammered.
Yes.
When I was doing $40 car washes, it was taking me forever to clean these cars. Cup holders. I still had to do an amazing job. And then when I went with this guy that charged $100, we're wiping off dust, having a great time.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's same exact thing. When I first started, I was advertising on Craigslist.
Yeah.
And getting just the worst cars. The worst.
On Craigslist?
Yeah, bro. And back then, that was actually
clients. That
was actually a good way to market.
Okay,
well, I guess. I mean, I was getting terrible cars, but no, actually, funny story. Advertising on Craigslist.
Okay. I
get a call from a logistics company. Hey, we're shipping this Lamborghini. It got dirty in the back of the truck. We need you to come out and do it. I said, okay. Well, so he scheduled it. He goes, yeah, just go to the customer's house. Freaking Shaun White. The Olympic snowboarder, yeah. I was like, "What the heck?" So I got him as a client.
You recognized him? And you're
right. It was back when he still had the really long.
But did you ask for a photo?
We did, yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know where it is anymore. I'd put it up here, but I don't know where it is anymore.
Okay, so say you came across that. Say it's your business. Is it okay for you to be like, "Yo, dude, you're Shaun White"?
I think no, normally.
No.
Well,
no? Okay.
I guess it depends on the level of celebrity. Like if they're I didn't want to. Yeah, okay, it was a long time ago now. I don't remember how exactly it went down. I don't think
you just felt the vibe.
I did. Yeah. He's super dude, such a nice guy, and like obviously talented in snowboarding, skateboarding. But then as I'm working on the car, he's inside with his band playing music. I'm like,
yeah,
what the heck, dude? I'm struggling to do one thing well, and he's three things doing like everything exceptional at. I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's what I wonder too, like, cause I have some friends too that they have like a performance shop. They get like famous YouTubers. They get artists, and then I noticed that when they come in to pick up their cars or whatever, they're a different person. They're mute themselves in a sense, and then I'm like, dude, like that's that person. Why aren't you like I think that's my theory on the cars. But comment down below what you guys think. Does it make sense?
So again, on the pricing thing, for sure. The higher your prices go, the cleaner, way nicer cars you're working on. I 100% agree with that. I think that those customers just see the value, and they see that I think they value their time more than a clean car. I guess that's kind of a weird thing to say, but essentially They're valuing time more than anything else. They want a good result, and they don't want to have to worry. I have so many clients where it's like they just want the job done right, and they don't have to worry about it. And that's why they keep you around forever, because they know the result they're going to get.
Josh, did you think that you'd be like doing this? Like, did
The
you
detail
think
or the YouTube side or like,
I don't know, like all this stuff that you do.
No. Let's see here, dude. So I started the detail business about 20 years ago.
Okay.
And no. I started the YouTube channel just to help promote the detail business, and
Really?
then it took off. Yeah. Like it was literally just to help promote.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Okay, so you did Craigslist.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
else? What else did you do?
When I first started,
Yeah.
all the mistakes. So there was Craigslist. There was a mailer called Get One Free.
Oh, what is that?
So it's like this little pamphlet. It's like, do you remember the penny saver back in the day?
No,
If
I
you're old
don't
enough,
know.
yeah.
So
there's
saver.
there's this thing called Get One Free, and it would be like for me, it would be like back in the day. So it would be like, book a detail, get a paint sealant for free. So so
on
you
the
kind of
on the newspaper thing.
it was
Okay.
it was its own little magazine, and that's all it was deals. And Get One Free, it was like you buy this, you get this thing for free. And so I was doing that, and I was discounting way more than I should have. I was paying for that, paying for them to be in their little magazine. Then I
Yeah.
wasn't charging enough. Like it wasn't like, after that whole experience, I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, that was a waste. I made no money. I got experience, I guess, but like I made no money.
But did people call you?
Yeah. I got calls, but it wasn't the customers that I wanted.
What else did you do?
So did that. I did. Craigslist actually worked pretty good. Like it kept me busy.
Okay.
Then I luckily.
That was before when they're letting you advertise.
Yeah,
that
it was
stuff.
almost 20 years ago. Yeah.
Because I remember I even tried I tried Craigslist, and then I tried OfferUp to advertise, and they take it down
Oh, really?
because it's a service.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, in the past you'd be able to it wasn't even a paid. You would just go into services and you would say,
Oh, probably on Craigslist.
Yeah,
Then.
yeah.
I did on OfferUp, and they'd always take it down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. So for me, it was early on I got a client that was extremely wealthy. And he had a fleet of cars. He was big in Aston Martins. He had a lot of Aston Martins, then a couple Ferrari, Maybach, all that kind of good stuff. Started doing his cars, and that helped. That was where it really switched for me. It was like, okay, this guy values me. Now I have that little nest egg. That one client was kind of covering my monthly nut.
Yeah.
So now I could start building out and not have to take on every little thing that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And then I remember my first day where I billed out like $1,000, and that was another eye opener. I'm like,
What'd you do for that day? You just
I think I did. Yeah. No, I think I did I did two completes and a wash or two or something. I can't again, it might've been 3 completes because this was years ago.
Wow.
And just moving, going through it. But then that opens up your mind too, where it's like, okay, well, how do I just replicate this so I can do this 5 days a week?
Yeah.
And then you just build out from there.
Yeah, because I like to ask that too, because it's like you want to see what worked for everyone, and hopefully, like I'm sure there's more things that you probably tried.
Yeah.
So you said Craigslist.
Well, so another big one for me is
the get one
free. Get one free. Yep. And then what really helped take off for me and bring in the clientele that I wanted was I optimized like crazy for my
SEO.
Yes. Yeah. And then did some Google AdWords campaigns, and then just focused in. So my key areas that I wanted to be in. You search for it for car detailing. I'm number 1 on the organic search. I'm number 1 on the map.
Here? In San Diego?
One specific section of San Diego. Yeah, that's my specific target. So then that way,
Your secret.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I saw it right there.
It's kind of sad because it's like I still get a ton of calls, and again, I don't take them all.
Wow.
So a lot of times, like I help my brother was helping me before, and then he had kids, and then he started working on his own on weekends. And I was like, well, just let me help you get set up so you can go out and do your own deal.
So your brother went into the business with you too?
Yep.
That kind of sounds like my dad.
Yeah. Is same deal?
My dad, well, cause when he got deported, he came back.
He got deported?
Yeah, he got deported.
No way.
He got deported.
When was this?
This was back in 2007.
No, how long was he here before?
He was here for like years, probably 20 years or so.
Yep.
And my dad, well, he voluntarily like deported himself.
Gotcha. Yep.
Because he was just tired of it. He's tired of living that way.
Sure.
And then he was working to get a partnership. Probably took him 4 years. Took him 4 years to live in Mexico. He came back, and then my dad was always a very like manageable person. Like he could manage a couple things. He was managing 7 companies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When before he got deported.
He's just good at he can focus in and get things done.
Dude, wherever you put him, and I've kind of took on this trait too, wherever you put my dad, he'll be successful.
He excels.
Like,
Yeah.
if you hired him to be at this, to run your business, it would be the best business it would ever be. And I think, it was when he came back that he was like, okay, so, what am I going to do? And then me being young, I was like, instead of working outside of Home Depot, you could work inside of Home Depot this time, okay? Now that you have it, he got his papers, he got his partnership.
Were you born stateside or in Mexico?
No, I was born here.
Okay,
I was born here. Yeah, luckily we're all born here. It's just my dad.
Gotcha.
Just my dad, and my mom help him get papers. So he came back, and then he couldn't get his old job back, which he was already at a good rank, good pay, and he felt some type of way. And he was like, dude, I'm not going to work for anybody else.
Yeah.
But at the time, I had a uncle, which he would hire my dad to wash the cars.
Okay.
So my dad would just have like a bucket, vacuum. And
what was your uncle doing?
My uncle,
was it a business that he was having him come in to do that stuff for? Or?
No, it was just his house.
It's just his personal. Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
but it also his business. But my uncle had a very successful landscaping business. So this guy had like a mansion, and he was
killing it.
He was doing good, but he was doing good, but still helping my dad.
Yep. And
being like, hey, like, we'll detail my cars, and he has a lot of kids. You know how the cars get. Cars get filthy. So my dad was busy, but at that time, my dad was like, yo, what should I do? I want to go work for you. No, do your own thing. And then that's when my dad bought a setup for his Toyota Tacoma.
Okay.
And got business cards, probably the most jankiest ones and whatever.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like the way I do my things is so different. Like I want my logo and
sure.
But my dad was like, look, if we're gonna make
car wash. Phone number.
Yeah. Yes, it was H2O mobile car wash. It was H2O mobile car wash on there. And then
wow, so it's been the H2O name ever since the beginning.
And the reason it's H2O, it's because it's Hector, 2 sons, and Olga. So
no way.
Hector's my dad. So it's 2 sons, me and my brother, and then Olga's my mom, which is my dad's ex-wife now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was never really water, but
interesting.
But I don't know. I think my dad has to elaborate a little bit more, but that's what it started off as. And then yeah. But so then he started doing that, and then he sold the truck because the truck was worth some good money, and then bought 2 Chevy Savannahs. Okay. Or the Chevy Expresses.
Yep.
When he started working on it, and then he started building the route, and then he's like telling his other brother, because he has 7 brothers.
No way.
He's telling his other brother. He's like, hey, dude, this business is like, it's doing good. And he was already working at a car wash over here in San Bernardino.
Okay.
And this is how I remember the story.
Sorry, who was? Your dad was?
No,
or his brother, one of his brothers.
So his brother was already working at a car wash in San Bernardino. And my dad was building his business.
Running his,
it was doing good. So it launched off right there because of the way my dad like was just throwing cards. Literally, he'll see you at a gas station and
walk up.
Here's your card. Oh, I like your card. And he doesn't speak back then he didn't speak as much English as he does now.
Sure.
But it was mainly like, here's the card, like I do $20 and then let's do it. But he called his brother, he's like, yo, hey, it's doing good. Come over here. I got a van for you already.
Gotcha.
So his brother came in now. So now there's 2 vans. So now the route that my dad worked on for like a couple of months.
Yep.
His brother's taking care of it.
And your dad's going out to build new.
And now my dad's doing a new route. And we're not talking about routes where it's like a nice place, or it's business areas like this.
Yep.
Coming there, washing cars. And probably each van did at least 10 to 20 cars.
Wow.
Well, with 2 people, definitely you had to do 20.
Gotcha. Yeah, sure.
Definitely had to
sure.
do 20. But it just went like that for another 6 vans.
Really?
So at that moment,
So there's 8 vans total going around?
no, it was like 6 or 7.
6 or 7 total. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Crazy.
Yeah, every van, a brother, one of my dad's brothers.
No
in there.
way. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's why when you said, "Oh, my brother works for me," that's the same way with my dad. But then, what had happened? It's been a couple years. My dad was making good money per month because he was renting them. He would give them the clients. They would pay for their own products and stuff.
Yep.
He would pay for the insurance in the van.
And then would he just take a portion of the job?
He would just charge you daily rent. So he,
Okay, for the okay.
Yeah, so he would just charge you like $150 or $100.
Yep. So if you go out and make 1,000, you made $900.
Yeah, you made
Or
$900.
if you didn't hustle and you made 100,
Yeah,
well, you made 0.
Which my dad did a great job of like dispatching. Hey, go over there and take care of this car. And yeah, I remember all of his brothers just joined them, and it was doing really good. Then at that time, we had like a garage, just barrels, just like I have barrels right here. Barrels of degreaser, dressing, the regular stuff, just barrels. And then all of a sudden, my dad starts having detailers come to his house, and I see him building setups. And I was like, what the heck are you doing? And then I started getting more involved with it. I started learning like the services. And then we get into auctions. We start flipping stuff, cleaning them up and flipping it. So, and then there's even times that we've even became like painters. Like our same clients that were washing their cars. I remember this one company, and shout out to that company. It's Malcolm Drilling.
Malcolm Drilling. Okay.
Malcolm Drilling, and if you ever see them, it's like a drilling company for major like company. So they actually hired us for like I think probably 2 years, so to organize their warehouse, and make sure the tools are in point.
So this is while you're still operating the detail business. He's dispatching and then doing this.
Yeah.
As well. Okay.
So, and okay, you don't have work. Okay, come over here. We're gonna come work over here, and that's the way it kind of felt like every day. Like there was literally no day that we were like, take a break. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
No, it was.
That's the thing, and you hear people complain, "Oh, there's no work." It's like there's work. You may not want to do it.
Yeah.
But there's work, dude.
And it was like, what the heck, Dad? I don't know how to paint. Shut up. paint over. Which my dad, because when he's managing the companies, he was the right hand for the owner, so he had to do the plumbing. He had to fix these things. He had to learn. So of course he's gonna be like, hey, it's raining. You guys need to fix anything here? Oh, we're not gonna pay 10. You're gonna save me 10 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just gonna pay your guys in the paint and buy lunch. Oh, they would love us, and that's the way we stayed busy. And they would stay loyal to us when it wasn't raining to get their cars washed too. And it was
a great setup.
Yeah, it was just crazy. But now we got into the store, and it was like, hey, should we do it? We're scared. It was like that.
So the first store, was that 8 years ago? Or
yeah,
okay,
it was that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a scary feeling because
now a lot more overhead.
Yeah, we're like, because the vans were always paid off, so we're nervous, and always in business, trust me, when you get nervous, you know when it's the right decision.
Yep.
And we met the owner, so we didn't meet no property management, and it was like, how do we hit the lottery on the? I didn't know how lucky I was on the first hit. Meeting the actual owner.
Some of the broker, like trying to get places, dealing with brokers, it's a nightmare. If you can just go straight to, that's the way to do it.
So not only that, it's just, imagine we didn't have credit either.
Right. Okay.
So the owner is like, okay. It was a shit show in there. It looked nasty. It was an old plumbing company.
Was there any connection to that drill company? Like, is that how you guys just kind of found this out of the blue?
Yeah, out of the blue.
Wow.
So we lived in that area. We lived in Covina.
Okay.
We rented a house, and then we would drive by and we're like, yeah, we want to open a store up. We want to open a location up.
Yeah.
And then we found that area, the place, and then the neighbor next door was famous. He was a famous tattoo artist.
Okay.
Named Tommy Montoya.
Yeah.
And my cousin
does all the black and gray, like all the old school,
the Ink
right?
Master
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So my cousin, she's like, yeah, I know who that is. Like, that's a famous artist. And then my dad, we met the neighbors too, and every tattoo artist or every tattoo place, you literally see like people tatted
The whole face, the whole deal. Yeah.
every single thing. And then us Mexicans were like, what the heck? Those are cholos. Those are cholos right there. And then little do we know, like they ended up being a very big part on our success. Too.
Really?
Yeah. They ended up being a very big part on our success.
In what way? Like it was just.
So let's go with the owner first. So the owner first, he met us. He saw me. Probably was 17 or 16 years old.
Okay.
And I did the talking. Hey, this is what our plan is, and we want to do detailing here too. And he's like, okay, when do you guys want to move in? Well, next month. We just need 3 months of free rent. Okay. He said yes.
What?
He said yes, and it was cheap rent, but we had to get rid of our house. But luckily at that time, someone gave my dad a motorhome, like a motorhome RV thing.
Yeah.
And so my dad moved the motorhome in the back
Into the parking lot?
in the back parking lot. So we got rid of our rent from our house.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, okay, this is what we're doing for right now.
Yeah.
My dad's living in the motorhome with his new wife. And then me, I was like, I'm not living in the stinking motorhome with him. So what I ended up doing was just making a bed inside the store. So I would just sleep inside the store. And then it wasn't as bad. I wasn't in there for that long. But my dad would shower in the sink or whatever, and then I would just go to the gym. I was really fit at the time because that's where I had to go shower and do all my stuff.
Yeah. Forces you to go to the gym.
Yeah, dude. But it was just like, wow, like what are we doing? I didn't know anything. We still didn't even know like how to even contact a brand.
Gotcha.
Or even MOQs. What are even MOQs? P's and Q's, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like we just did it. So
when you guys first opened the shop, was it to be like a fixed location for the detail stuff? Was that in the initial?
It was like
or was
it was
all?
store. It was store
Okay.
and detailing.
Got it.
Because detailing was paying the bills.
Right.
So we started detailing, and then the way the tattoo shop played a big factor in our success was that while we were getting the store running and getting supplies going, we were getting details going too.
Mm-hmm.
But the owner, dude, every single day, my dad would go inside there and ask if they needed a car wash.
Really?
And they would always be so nice, and they'll probably wash their car twice a week. So these people, the tattoo artists, they make a lot of money every day.
Yeah,
so
the ones that are good, they kill it. Yeah,
they kill it. And then
usually cash.
Popular shop. So my dad would go in. Hey, do you need a car wash? If the tattoo artist didn't need a car wash, then the client needed a car wash.
And they're there for a few hours anyway.
Hours. So what do they need? A full detail. And my
Dude,
dad would
that's
be like,
great.
And my dad would be like, all right, we're gonna do a full detail. Okay, yeah, just do it on my M4 or this car. And nice cars will pull up too.
Yeah.
Because if you're spending money on the tattoo, you got some dough.
Yeah, you got
and
some
that
disposable
place too.
income.
Yeah. And then the owner, Tommy Montoya, and other people too, but mainly Tommy, like he just loved my dad. He loved us. My dad was literally like helping them. Oh, you need this clean, you need that, you need this. And we stayed busy like that, doing detailing. And then that's at that time that we met a detailer, and that's when I went to go work for someone else.
That's when you go, okay, gotcha. And
So-
was that your dad's idea? Like to get more exposure on that other side of it?
It was, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It was my dad's idea, and then it was mainly like I need to learn. I need
Right.
to learn better, and
Right.
and not. I need to because I've just been around my dad so much that I need to be out there.
Yeah.
I need to do my own thing. And then there's even times where we'd butt heads and like I'm like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then luckily I was spoiled enough to even get blessed with the Ford Ranger. When I did go on my own, I got a Ford Ranger and a setup on there. And it was going until I was taking some courses where like you see things about your life and you see why you are the way you are.
Sure.
And I was like, hey, you know what?
More like self-help, like self-growth, like personal development type stuff. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, like, I'm sorry for the way I always treated you, for the way, like, for just giving you a hard time.
You're saying this to your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, like, it really shouldn't be like that. And then as well as like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna work on myself too. Because we would both be like,
at each other a little bit because you're
hot-headed.
always working together.
Yes, it would be, the family drama was crazy. If they made a TV show,
It'd be good.
It would be a good one. and until I don't know what got in me is just well, mainly God has helped me too.
Yeah.
But at that time, I wasn't even baptized or anything. But I was definitely realizing like what I was blessed with and how beautiful it could be. Because at that moment, I was doing the details. I was doing ceramic coatings. I was doing all this stuff, making a lot of money. But I didn't realize that I'd end up being really good at doing videos.
Yeah, for sure.
And at that moment, even the guy that hired me a couple years later, he told my dad, why don't you have him do more promotion and videos?
Yeah.
Because I would only get paid for details. Now my dad's like, hey, I'll pay you an extra something for videos.
Yeah.
And then I'm all like, yeah, I want to do
that.
that. I want to do videos more. Yeah.
That's really cool though, that you recognize that and this was at 17, 18 probably that you
This
kind of
was like at 19.
19. But it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, to recognize that early on, because you probably like from your, I have kids now, right? So like, especially now where I look at my parents like, wow, it's one of those things like, you know, as I'm growing up, your parents say, I love you. You say, I love you back. And I love my parents to death. But then when you have your own kids, you're like,
Yeah.
now I get how much you guys actually, it's a crazy level.
It's crazy. It's just, I think my dad, I realized that his way that he grew up with his dad, it was a lot different.
Yeah.
And I even tell him like, hey, like, let's not do too much work. Like, let's hang out outside of this, because we don't live together. So I would only see him at work. But now we have this relationship where we're like, hey, like, let's work on each other together, and let's become stronger.
Yep.
And really the last year hasn't really been too much of like business. It's really just been personal growth.
Very nice.
And just changing. And then recently I had a baby.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude. A boy or girl?
Boy,
right
6
on.
months, and then
Nice.
6 months, and then
So you get what I'm saying now that you
yeah.
have a kid, you're like, it's insane.
And then it's just I know that God is great and He's taking care of us.
Yep.
And I don't know. It's definitely been a journey, but I know there's a lot more.
A lot more to come still.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because one thing I like to remember is I remember that I was like, man, like what other 16-year-old is like busting their ass with their dad out here because he wanted a camera or a laptop. And then I was like, man, but I know I'm destined to be something greater.
Yep.
Josh, and because before I used to think of like detailing, like, wow, like I'm a car washer. And
It's that state of mind, right? Because it's two different things, right?
Yeah.
Once you start.
And I was like, what the heck? Like, is this really gonna help me get the things I want?
Right.
But I remember when I was my probably 10th car of the day already at the end of the day. Imagine 10 cars, four tires per car, and then they usually had me on the tire shine.
Gotcha.
They never really had me on the gun because I would waste a lot of water. Yeah, that's what
Got it.
But I was putting tire shine. I was like, I know I'm destined for something greater.
Yeah.
I know there's something out there that I'm gonna be doing, but I know that this tire shine has to be put on the best way that it can be right now. So I gotta enjoy my process right now.
Yep.
Imagine I was young and I was thinking that, listening to my music, I was like, this is my grind. It's like if you're at the gym, it's like you're like, this is what I'm doing right now. Let me be the best at this.
That tires your whole world at that point. Yeah, for sure.
And I always think about that. And it's like, maybe I could be this other person. Maybe I could have this other thing. But right now is the best. I got to be the best person I can be.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a similar thing for me in the terms that, like, I didn't grow up with, we didn't have a lot of money growing up either. So for thinking about like what you can be, I really liked once I got into the detail side. I don't know if this is how it was for you, but like seeing, you're working on nicer and nicer cars as you grow, and you kind of see like some of the houses you go through. You're
like, my heart, like,
yeah, you're like, if they've done it, what can I learn from them to figure out how to do?
It makes me cry.
Yeah,
like really, because I would look at the houses and I'll be like, wow, like, they're not working on the weekend.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, yeah, for sure. But all that hard work now, right, sets you guys up, and things are a lot easier than it was back then, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, dude, I think like,
yeah, I would be like, Josh, I would be like, they're like, look at the dad, look at the kids. They're not working on the weekend.
Yep. That's the same thing. I had a paper out at 12 years old. Like, we didn't have a lot of, like, so it was one of those things where like, once you start seeing, and then you're looking like, how can I provide that for my kids? And like, and it's all just, it's just work, dude. Get out there and freaking work. Right.
That's why I know you're genuine, and like, you're a good dad.
I try to be as much. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna make mistakes, I think. But if you try and do everything that you possibly can, and again, like, step down. Like you're raised by your dad, and then so some of the things that you were raised with seem normal, but then you try and well, maybe not, and then this, so you find your own lane in it, right?
Yeah.
And you just try and
like
do best by your kids.
Yeah, like I just got into that. It just. Because the feeling is real. The feeling is real. And I'm sure, like how you said, you have your story.
Yep.
You have your story. But everyone has their story. And I'm sure everyone has their story. And you guys are going to get the chance to talk about that with your family, with whoever you have. And just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, because one day you'll look back and you'll be like, was I the best person at the moment? And then just knowing that if you did a good job, you'll be happy with yourself.
There's that saying, I can't remember who said it. I used to want some podcast where they're talking about, like, say you die, you go to heaven and God's there, and you're presented with you as you are, and then what you could have been is looking at you, and you're like, wow, you don't want to face that, where like, God, I could have done a lot more with my life if I had worked harder or done things differently. And it's not all about money, right? Because like Joel and Sal from Details, that's their thing too, is talking about the balance of like doing what makes you happy, and I get it. Not everyone has that luxury, especially me. I didn't have that luxury in the beginning, for sure. It was just go out, work way too hard for way too little money in the beginning, but it all comes around. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it, man. Let's go get some dinner.
Let's go.